Hello, I'm Jeff Allen Wolf, and I give my commentary on national and world news and politics. I think you'll agree this is definitely a world gone mad. And if you're listening to this podcast, then you are a part of the resistance. I welcome you. FYI, this is episode number 98, almost to the big 100. Now, this podcast episode is definitely going to be different, and I'm going to get into it right now. I really hope if you're listening now, you do not tune out or stop the podcast. This episode is important. This is an important message. It's about 20 minutes long, so relax and please stay with me. I promise to let you know exactly what's on my mind and in my heart and soul right now. I would like to update those of you who are official Wolfpack members, and those of you who have not yet joined for free of what I'm going through. Because of Donald Trump and his attack on our freedom of speech since he regained office for a second term, Trump and his administration have been on a rampage against everyone, everywhere, who speaks up against him. That has bled through to schools, places like NPR, Voice of America, the press, etc. And if you, the listener, doubt this information, well, it's now come down to more expanded situations, such as myself. It's getting personal, everyone. I have several Facebook groups. One for my podcast, a couple other groups with members who are against Trump and his bullshit lies. Some of you listeners may be members of one or more of my Facebook groups. If you haven't joined, well, it's too late for that now. Let me explain what has happened to me in the last 48 hours. Facebook has informed me that I am a cyber security threat. Let me repeat that to everyone listening. I, Jeff Allen Wolf, and my podcast are a cyber security threat. I was notified that several of my posts that were against Donald were removed from my group because they violated the rules of Facebook, and those posts are a cyber security threat. An administrator, in fact, several administrators from other Democratic Facebook groups contacted me that some of my posts were removed, and some of them were posts from 5 months ago. Removed. And the administrators were informed that they were removed because I am a cybersecurity threat. I'm pissed. No fucking shit that I'm pissed. Facebook, in support of Donald Trump, Mr. Delusional Supreme, has decided to cripple me and my voice. I posted this on all my groups, a message that told my membership what was happening. That the members, while they can still see these posts, to please email me at a new email address I set up that I'll give you soon. I created this just in case my other email addresses were compromised. Several people posted on my different groups that they tried to direct message me, but they were informed they were blocked because I am a cybersecurity risk, they were told. My own groups, my own membership, my posts, and people's replies to me are being crushed by Facebook. Does this bother any of you? I would think that it would. It pisses the hell out of me. How dare Facebook decide who the hell can say what to whom? How dare Facebook, because of Donald, decides that it's okay to crush the voices of people against Trump? We are in a very dangerous time, everyone. Some of you see this. To some of you, it hasn't sunk in how deep this is as it should. Make no mistake, this is a dictator, and the Republican Party who are enabling him are in lockstep. Let me call that goose step with Donald, the waste of DNA nutcake. We need to do something. We need to do it fast and massively. I am not advocating violence at all. Now, I've decided to do something on my end, and I'm hoping you, the listener, will show your support. And I don't say that being pissy to you. I don't say that to be nasty to you. But I'm getting very little support after a year. I've been doing this for over a year, 16 months to be precise, this podcast. And to those of you loyal listeners who have supported me and continue to listen, I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. To those handful of you that have emailed me, texted me, replied on Blue Sky, left me voice messages, I truly do thank you. And I can't thank you enough. To give you an update, my podcast has well over 600 listeners. I'm letting you know this information not because of ego, but to let you know where I stand with my podcast. My podcast is now heard in every state of our country and Washington, D.C. My podcast is also heard in 46 countries. And I cannot emphasize this enough to everyone listening right now. I'm not stating this info with ego. I'm stating this as fact of how wide-ranging my podcast is right now. However, because of Facebook and the lack of replies back from listeners about my podcast episodes over the year, I'm dropping in ratings and rankings on all the streaming places that carry podcasts. Sponsors are not signing with me at all, which would give money to this podcast to help continue it. They see the numbers that I show them, but they want to see that I'm getting feedback and responses from people. Unfortunately, I can't show them a lot except for the loyal listeners who have taken the time to respond and reply through email, voice messages, and texts. And by the way, when I show this to potential sponsors, I don't show your name and I don't show your email addresses. So everyone please relax. For those that are rolling their eyes about your privacy being invaded, it's not. I show the potential sponsors the comments only. But I don't have enough comments from listeners, so therefore they're not willing to sponsor my podcast. I've also written and contacted multiple prominent people to do interviews on my podcast. Every single one of them have turned me down. And if you heard the list of who they are, who I contacted, and who and their representatives responded to me, you will realize I'm getting some important and heavyweight people responding to me. They will not do an interview unless I could show them I have an audience and numbers of listeners responding. Without commentary from my listeners, the potential guests say to me basically in an answer back to me or through their representatives, "You have an excellent podcast, Jeff, but we will only do interviews when you could show you have an audience responding back to the podcast." They won't waste their time if they think the podcast has silence from listeners. So I'm in a dilemma right now, everyone, and I'm seriously angry enough to want to quit this podcast. That's not a false threat. I've been working my rear end off for the past 16 months to make this show as good as I can, and it still has a ways to go. I've given of myself to you with honesty with my commentary, good or bad, about what I see that's going on in this country and in the world. I don't try to fake you, the listener, out with bullshit. I hope some of you listeners would appreciate that versus the other podcasts and talking heads on the streaming apps and the internet. So what am I doing about this attack from Facebook? How am I fighting back? Well, the first thing on my mind is to quit. Sorry, people, but I really want to quit. I'm down. Because I honestly, even though I say it tongue-in-cheek at the end of my podcast each episode, I'm sitting in a room talking to myself. I actually am sitting in a room talking to myself. I have a great loyal group of people every now and then commenting back and emailing me, but 90% plus of the listeners do not. And I feel like I'm sitting in a room talking to myself. That's why I want to give up. But the side of the Jeff for all these years knows that quitting is not an option. So here's what I'm going to do, everyone, and I hope you will help me with your support. Number one, fuck Facebook. They are a waste of time. For those of you still on Facebook, good for you. I can't tell you, the listener, what to do, but spending hours upon hours posting memes and making redundant comments back and forth with other people who hate Trump and Republicans is a waste of time. Don't get mad at me. Evaluate yourself and your actions. Honestly, a lot of you know what I'm saying is true. Please spend your time being more productive, everyone. I did these things like some of you are doing in the beginning. I'm not doing that anymore. Number two, being my Facebook pages are compromised, I honestly don't know what the hell anyone sees anymore when I post a podcast episode link or my comments about any news that are happening in our country or the world. I created a new email, an email that should be a safe place for people to contact me. It is resistdonaldnow@gmail.com. RESIST Donald Now, NOW, at Gmail. Here's what I'm asking you to do. And I'm rolling my eyes and crossing my fingers, hoping that anyone will even follow through this, and please help me. And again, I'm not trying to be a dick to you. I'm stating an honest comment from my heart. Please email me to that new email I told you about, resistdonaldnow@gmail.com. Say hello. Tell me you're listening to the show. Help me. Let me know you're breathing out there. Depending on the response I get from these emails will determine to me whether I continue my podcast or not. Because if I get crickets, I get apathy again. As one of my family members asked me, why the hell are you doing this podcast, Jeff, 3 times a week? My answer back to them was because I fucking care. I was just hoping other people would care as much. And the reason why I make that caveat comment about you not replying back to emails, my birthday was last year. And no, this is not ego again. I'm stating a fact. I had a birthday last year. I'll have one again soon. You have a birthday. I had a birthday. But my birthday last year, I was on the air doing my podcast, and I mentioned about my birthday throughout the episode before, and the episode during my birthday, and the episode after my birthday. And out of 600 plus listeners, not one single listener sent me a text, an email, or a voice message saying, hey, happy B-Day. You have no idea how that made me feel. It's not about ego. It's about acknowledgement that I exist. So I'm hesitating, thinking that anyone is going to respond to this email. Would you please? I'm asking respectfully. If you are the loyal listeners who emailed me before, thank you. Please go ahead and do it again. I would appreciate it. If you've never emailed my podcast and you've been listening for a while, it's time. This is what I need. Your support as my podcast is being crippled by Facebook's actions. Number 3, I will be hopefully soon creating a website that will become a safe haven for my listeners and those who are against Donald and his destruction of our country. No more fascist Facebook or other bullshit social media places that I'm relying on for my listeners and their commentary. So look for the new website. I'll let you know as it's coming along. I will not be sending anyone a podcast link in instant messenger like I've done for the past couple of months, or posting the link on the Facebook groups. And yeah, I just overheard several snarky listeners in the back mutter, thank God, Jeff, leave us the fuck alone. I was sending those who email me at the new email the link to each new podcast episode 3 times a week. I'm asking you, I'm imploring you to email to the new address and say hello. Tell me how long you've been listening, your first name, what city or state you live in. You know the drill. I'm burnt out, people. And I'm on edge right now with what Facebook is doing to my efforts in the last 48 hours. And I need you, the listener's support. Without your support, this podcast doesn't exist. I'm sorry that you're bored shitless from this rant, but it's time, people. It's time to stand up and take action. It's time to make your voices heard. Funny memes are nice. I do that every now and then myself, but doing memes shouldn't dominate your week. Conversations back and forth with Republicans, trying to convince them to your way of thinking, are a waste of time, as they don't care. I stopped doing that a long time ago, everyone. Rallies are nice, but it's not massive enough. We need tens of thousands of people all over this country protesting. The numbers we got recently, that won't make a dent. Yeah, it's a nice start, but we need to increase that by 5,000%. Here's another insight to you, the listener. One administrator from a Democratic Facebook group couldn't understand why I am a cybersecurity threat because he wasn't getting the same treatment from Facebook towards him and his group. I pointed out to him without ego, I do a podcast. I have a voice. I'm heard all over this country and multiple countries. A person with a microphone has more reach than an administrator on a Facebook group with a post. It's just a fact, people. It doesn't make me better than anyone. But according to Facebook, I'm an incredible threat to them. Facebook and Republicans are wanting to rule our country permanently. This person with this microphone doing this podcast, A World Gone Mad, is asking for your support. And I'm asking you to take 1 minute out of your day. You can stop the friggin' podcast at any time and send me an email. Let me know you're there. Please tell me you're alive and breathing. Tell me off. It won't bother me, guys. Give me suggestions. Do you like me doing the show once a week or 3 times a week? I changed it to 3 times a week when 2 people a while ago told me to do that. Did I waste my time doing that? If a story motivates you or moves you, when I tell you about it each episode, let me know. Some of you have written to me and told me that. Others, crickets again. Not a put down, just a fact. Help me to continue to help you by being a voice and taking the brunt and standing up against Donald and his minions. I'm not the only person doing this, I know that, but I'm one of the damn good ones with a quality podcast. And if you don't agree, tell me that. But I couldn't grow this far this long if I did not have a quality podcast with a message. And you listening. This is episode number 98. I'm coming up on episode 100. I've said this before, but some of you may not have heard it or understand it. Any podcast that's out there that reaches 100 is a milestone. Do you know why? There are 3,500,000 podcasts out there. Let me offer you, the listener, with an analogy. You know people that own a bar? There's a television show called Bar Rescue. Some of you may have seen it with John Taffer, the expert. And he says the majority of people who own a bar fail. It's the same with podcasts and podcasters. They usually don't get past 5 episodes, let alone 20, let alone 100. Episode 100 of A World Gone Mad is coming up. And that's hard. A lot of you have written me in the past saying you don't have time to email or engage with me because your life is busy. I understand that. You know why? Because my life is busy as well. A lot of you in the past have written me that you're dealing with health issues or family members that have health issues. I understand that as well. You know why? Because I have health issues and I have a significant other who has health issues, just like you. Hell, I did the show while I went back and forth in the last couple of months with scheduled surgeries and ER emergencies for me to the hospital several times in the past year. I point this out to let you know I'm just like you, dealing with the shit that you're dealing with and still doing this podcast with only one time that I missed an episode. So I request humbly again, I ask you to email me this time to the new email address. Please say hello. I don't want to quit this podcast, but if I hear silence, I'll have to. It just wouldn't make any sense to continue to nobody. Resist Donald now at gmail.com. Say hello, everyone. I need you now more than I've ever needed anybody in the 16 months I started doing this podcast. Crickets will hurt me more emotionally than negative comments in your emails. Hell, if someone emailed me and wrote, "Fuck you, Jeff. I hate you, and what you said last episode, I think you're wrong," I would give you the biggest hug in your life. Apathy is what hurts more. To play up the lines from Michael Douglas, who starred in the movie The American President, I'm Jeff Allen Wolf. I'm a veteran television and radio broadcaster with over 40 years' experience. I now do a podcast called A World Gone Mad. I believe I do a good job. I may be wrong. I will not back down. I will not be silenced by Donald Delusional and his waste of DNA anti-American supporters. I will continue to say what's on my mind against him. And if any Republicans don't like what I say, tough shit. Go pound sand. I'm asking for your support to send me an email. Let me know what you feel and that you're there in support. ResistDonaldNow@gmail.com. Hopefully, I'll be back again in 2 days. Hopefully, I'll hear from you. Otherwise, I'm sitting in a room and I am talking to myself. Stay hopeful.
There is chaos in the world. Can't you see?